we're going to be replacing the governor shaft seal on this Kawasaki engine. And first thing we're going to do is, I've kind of gotten this disassembled. You can look back at my previous video, I'll link it up top, where I kind of disassembled this thing, and kind of we were just on the goal, I guess, to do maintenance on this thing as well as fix oil leaks and stuff like that, and update to the newer PCV system on it that causes the old style excessive blow by, or not actually blow by, but crankcase pressure to build up in the crankcase. Anyway, not the point of this video. We've got a governor shaft seal that is leaking, so we're going to go ahead and replace that. So first steps are we're going to undo the throttle and choke linkage from the carburetor, and this one over here already has the I think there's a choke right here, already has the little thing kind of popping out, but the linkage popping out. But we're going to flip this tab up and just pull the linkage out, and we're going to do the same thing over here. We've also got a spring on this side that we're going to have to deal with. That the spring actually attaches to the shaft here, or to the release here. So pull that spring up and attach it, and then flip that over and pull the linkage out. So now that is completely apart from the governor, because we're going to have to pull the governor off, or this plate down here off, where the throttle linkage and all that's on. So we're going to take a 10mm and start unbolting this plate. And I'm not sure if we're going to have to undo the throttle cable and choke cable or not. We'll see. Keep in mind where these came off. Kind of try to put them back where they came. I can see a spot where the bolt was on each side. So that's what we're going to go by. It looks like the throttle and choke cable stay attached to this bracket. I'm going to move this bolt that I had undone and get it kind of out of the way. And then we're just going to try to snake this thing out of here. I'm going to look in here. It looks like there's a spring attached to the governor on the back side, and it is so grimy I can't really tell much about it. I will get y'all in there the best I can to show y'all. You can see how grimy this thing is, but we're gonna have to undo this spring right here that attaches to this plate, and then we can get this plate out of the way. So I'm just going to reach back in here and just try to unhook this spring. I can't see how it attaches on the governor because the governor is so grimy. I guess I should try to clean it off. It might be easier to unhook from it. Yeah. So I just was able to feel around and unhook it from the governor. Unplug this little shaft so I don't know, you can see if we can give it, that gives us enough room to not have to undo it, which it does. So now we've just got a super grimy governor that I'm going to take some time to clean up so that I can actually see what I'm working on. So let me do that. I got it cleaned up, just soaked it with some degreaser and hit it with a pressure washer real quick, and we kind of got it looking a lot better. This light is blinding me, but I'm having to use it to so y'all can see, but it's right where I'm working. I'm going to go ahead and I think the shaft, you can only put this on one way. I don't know that there's an adjustment for the governor, but just in case, I am this gap up top. I'm just using my knife to kind of clean up the shaft right there, so I know where the governor was, just in case. So we should have a nice shiny spot right there that we'll know where the shaft was, or the arm was. Now I've got a screwdriver wedged in here in the on the back of it, so that it's pulling the gear out, so I'm not beating up against the governor itself, just the bracket. And it's just because this thing is so tight on the shaft, it's not wanting to come off. So I'm trying to get this flathead screwdriver in here to open this thing up a little bit. So if you look real close, you can see that this shaft is really rusty. So we do need to get it cleaned up before we slide this seal on, or we're going to tear up our seal. If you also look real close, you can see our little witness mark we put on it right there. But you can also see where it's got marks on it where it was sitting, and a clean spot up top. So hopefully those marks stay. The other thing we can kind of use, last resort, is the open part does seem to be exactly where the hole is in the shaft. And I'm not sure if this thing originally would have had some kind of a pin there that the governor arm slid onto, but there's not one there now. You can see there was not one on there. Now, it very well could have been, because if you look, it looks like maybe that notch would have went where a pin, went into a pin. But like I said, there's not one. What we might do is try to put one in, but it shouldn't move, if this thing's clamped tight. So we may just use that hole as an alignment mark and slide this thing on. What we'll do is we'll open this up a little more so it slides on easy. And we can, like I said, use that as alignment mark, or we can make a little pin to slide in there to line it up. I have a feeling it originally had a pin, but no, not positive. It may not be the way to do it. That's the way I did it. Now, I see there's a hole in this governor, but I don't see a pin or anything in it, so I don't know if that's for another model or what. I also don't see any kind of alignment on this thing, so we definitely are gonna have to go by our marks. Now the problem with that, I can see my marks, but this shaft is, well, it's a little rusty, and I need to try to make sure I don't ruin my seal when I try to put my seal on. So that's my fear, is that when I clean this shaft up, I'm going to lose my mark, and if I don't clean this shaft up, I'm going to ruin my seal. So I got to think about that for a minute and decide what I'm going to do. Alright, so I got this thing cleaned up, and I'm just going to take a pick. It's just a Harbor Freight, I think it's Harbor Freight pick, and just kind of go in there and try to pick this seal out. Ended up driving this straight pin between the seal and the block, just carefully in 3 spots. That thing was just so stuck to the block, it would not come out. You know, I was digging around with the pick, and I'd hook the edge of the seal and try to pull it out, and my pick would just slip off. I broke the tip off of one of my picks. I mean, it was not coming out. And make sure there's not part of the pick in there. There's not. We're also going to check. Now that we got the seal out, I'm just rocking this. We got in play, but I'm rocking this just to see how much slop there is in the block, you know, the bore for the governor shaft, and there's not. I don't really feel any. So that's good. We should get a good seal. If that thing was real sloppy, then, you know, we probably would not get a good seal. So I'm going to take a little bit of time, clean this up. I already sprayed it down with brake clean. I'm going to take my air compressor and just blow that out. And we'll get the new seal ready. I'm going to put, well, I guess first of all I should tell you the new seal is a Kawasaki part number 92049-7019. And I'm going to take, I've already cleaned that out and blew it off. So we got a good clean surface. But I'm going to take some wheel bearing grease and just kind of put on this shaft. That's going to help protect the seal as we go on. Like I said, I sanded that shaft down lightly to take any of the heavy rust off of it. And I'm going to take just a super thin coat of silicone and put on our new seal. This is our new seal. So along this surface right here, I'm just going to put a super thin coat of black silicone, and that'll just help it seal against the block and hold it in. So I'm going to gently start this seal on. So we've got it started. Also, when you're cleaning up that shaft, there's a tapered section right here. Clean that up as well. So we've got that started on. And like I said, I'm going to use a 9mm to drive that on. Alright, we got our 9mm. I'm just going to slide that over. And take our hammer, tap that in, hold it right here. Alright, and it's in. We're ready to go back together with it. If you can look, I actually found a roll pin, or a tension pin, whatever you want to call it, in my kind of hardware assortment stuff. I don't know what size it is. It's an assortment I bought at a garage sale, and they're all mixed up. So I don't know that it would be required. I think that the shaft itself, you know, as long as you lined up your notch with that hole, you know, you'd be okay. And then just put the depth right at the hole. But since I had it, I went ahead and put it on there. And now that we opened this up a little bit and also sanded it down, you know, it's a much better fit. So I'm just trying to find where it kind of slips onto that. roll pin. Alright, it's in. I made sure you can still see my roll pin at the top. It kind of slipped in a little bit. It didn't slip in all the way. I think that roll pin's a little thicker. That hole must be wallowed out a little bit. Slipped it in though and got it lined up with the roll pin. It like I said, it kind of slipped in, but not all the way in. So it's kind of more of an alignment tool, I guess. That notch at the bottom of this bracket wasn't quite as big as my roll pin, and I don't know if maybe it just had gotten squeezed shut a little bit. I did try to open this up a little bit, and it kind of slips into it as an indention, but not like fully seats into it, I guess. But it's lined up and clamped down, so we can put the rest of it together. The governor shaft seal is done. Linkages are all hooked up. Then I put my bracket back where it was. Can't really see much in there. You can see that spring's hooked up. There's a slot on the governor shaft, bracket, arm, whatever you'll call it. And yeah. So, all done. And I'm gonna reassemble for the rest of the stuff that I've got this thing taken apart for. So, thanks for watching. Leave a comment down below, hit the like button, and subscribe for more.